Hello, you two Balonians. So Coho has assimilated very well to the garage. Life in the garage. He doesn't even know this is a garage because it's like a house. We're storing things in this three-stall garage. We're not storing the boat. We're not storing the camper. We're storing pantry items. And I should give you a quick tour. We've not unpacked, but that's the kitchen pantry. This is the kitchen prep area, or not prep area, but refrigeration area. We've got the wash basin over there. The laundry room's down there, still being assembled. Please give us grace on this mess because we're 3 days into the final move, and we've moved everything out into here because this is our only home right now. We have the workshop over here, and you're gonna see this progress because Karen is awesome at organizing and working fast and being effective. Over here is kind of like the cat bedroom. You guys are gonna love this. But we have storage of 2 queen size beds, one of which is ours. We have the other queen size bed from the other house that will end up being in the guest house, which is over there. We're living in the guest house. This is the garage. We built this place 2 years ago so that we could then build our home. And this is very tiny living. It's very cramped. We're living amongst boxes in a garage right now. So put it all into perspective. But this is the cat room just by chance, because queen size beds cannot be stored with things sitting on them. Right now we have pillows and paper stuff and cats. But in one box, I know I see it over there, but that's getting moved in a few days as we unpack. It's a mattress pad. And so to store correctly for your beds, you cannot have anything on them. You can't lay them on their sides. You can't store them I definitely can't store them in a storage garage at like a public storage. And so this is going to make the cats very happy. I arranged it to be by the window so that they can watch nature outside. The lake is behind the trees, and the cats can watch all sorts of wildlife going on. Over here is just storage and organization right now, front door. And then our workshop. We've got the tool shop over here, and then laundry is over there. The dog kennel is back behind there with all the pet supplies. I'll show you that later. This is Karen's office coming together. She sells vintage wares, and she's no longer with the school district. She retired after many years of working with children, and she was a paraprofessional. And now she's going into vintage sales. So she's got a few things to sell, and we'll tell you more about that when we tour her store in a few days. She doesn't have a store, but she has 2.5 booths. That's hard to say. I have vintage stereos, but they need too much work. The main problem here is when you turn these knobs, it makes all sorts of scratchy sounds. So I think all of the knobs need to be replaced. So I'm going to get rid of these. They're just too much work to try and maintain. I'm probably going to donate them. I'm not sure. And then as we go out our front door, we can show you the house that's going to get moved beginning tomorrow. It's a 3-day process that they have to take it apart and move it. It's a manufactured home. It was permanently put there with a permanent foundation, but it's just too small for our living and for having guests and for having grandchildren and children visiting at the lake. It is a lake place, so it needs more room. Coho would never dream of going outside, even though he's been displaced and put in the garage. Now that I say that, watch him walk outside. There's no way he'll go out there. We rescued him from the outdoors. He was sick. He was a 6-month-old kitten. And if you haven't seen that, go back and watch the video when we adopted Coho. It was several years ago, about 3 years ago now. And he was very sick with an eye infection and a respiratory infection. He will never step foot outside. But he is starting to get a little curious, so we don't want to encourage that. So, and Mason is living outside. This is just too tight quarters for him. And so, oh, our shoe section. So we'll give you a better tour when we get all organized. We're going to move a couch out here. I don't really watch a whole lot of TV, but I have a TV in storage, so maybe I'll hook up Chromecast and watch family pictures and maybe a few YouTubes. All right, YouTube-alonians. That's the update. I had to show you how Coho was sitting up high because he has absolutely, I'm actually going to say, he loves this more than our house because there's so much to do and see. And I think chipmunks were trying to get in along the side of the garage door because they can squeak through small places. And he's going to keep us from getting chipmunks or mice or even flies. He was chasing down a fly today. So that's a win for me. I feel that the fact that the cats are absolutely loving this space. This guy never moves. He's going to be a permanent fixture for the next year until we can build a house. We don't even have a floor plan finished. But I'm getting an architect to help us. We've got a lot that's kind of hard to fit with the slope and with the shape and trying to save all the trees. And so we're going to need some help. But look at this guy. He's just purring. He's been purring for 2 days. By the way, to get him used to being out here, we put them both in the cat kennel, set them on the bed, and let them sit there for about probably 6 hours while we worked out here so that they could get used to the sights and sounds and smells. You're curious, aren't you, of this room? And so once they actually look like they settled down after the first hour of sitting in the kennel. And then by the 6th hour, I knew that they'd have to get out. I showed them where their bathroom was, and they've been just hanging out ever since, especially this little guy. He's constantly purring. He really likes this adventure. He'll probably be sad whenever someday we get into a house that's all organized and tidy, because then he won't have so much to explore. So there you have it. Someone spilled paint. Was that you? All right, YouTube-alonians, have a good evening. Thanks for watching Frosty Life.